A year ago, I built an AI orchestration platform and then got hit with a massive obstacle. I had no idea how to deploy microservices, but I didn't want to waste another month learning AWS just to get hit by $1 million fee, or a platform as a service to get hit by a $2 million fee instead. And so my project just sat in the dark for a whole year until I discovered virtual private servers. Look, a VPS is just a normal server with some RAM, vCPUs and SSD, which means you can do absolutely anything you want here. So I thought, if I package my entire app as Docker Compose build, then theoretically I can SSH into the server, pull my repository, run my Docker Compose application, expose local ports, and make my application available to the rest of the world by DNS. So I prepared a list of goals that I expect in every production grade application. Run app using Docker Compose, custom domain name, HTTPS encryption, rate limiting, subdomain routing for different microservices, load balancing, firewall, and lastly, I don't know if this is possible, but CI/CD automated deployments. Additionally, I want to do this as lazily as possible using minimum domain expertise, but I also don't want to use wrapper tools that add overhead and abstract away my control. And little did I know, by the end of this video, deploying my entire microservice stack will just be a single command. So let's get started with this epic journey. A little bit of quick context, this is an app for creating powerful AI workflow pipelines, deploy it, and even use them via public API endpoints. The codebase is a monorepo of landing page, front-end, and back-end services. I'm using a Hostinger KVM2 for this deployment because it is the most popular, extremely cheap, super simple to set up, and also because they just gifted me one for free. They have servers all around the world, 100 GB NVMe SSD, 8 TB bandwidth somehow, and public APIs which are crucial for my application. You can get a straight 10% off using code Manware at checkout, or just use my link in the description. It immediately asks me what to install: operating systems, several wrappers for Docker, control panel, and other apps that probably make deployment easier, which is for noobs. I want full control, so I went ahead with a super simple Ubuntu LTS installation. Next, it asked me to set up a password that has never been conceived by humanity before, along with an SSH key. If you're like me and don't remember how to do this, luckily Hostinger provides detailed steps for it, and after about 3 minutes, my VPS was ready to shake the AI world. I immediately opened terminal to SSH into my server, typed a password that has never been conceived to mankind before, and look at that, I'm now in my VPS server. But before we host our application, there are a few chores you need to perform every time you buy a VPS, like apt update, apt upgrade, and some essential tools in case you don't have it already. I also made sure the time zone is correct, as it's crucial for cron jobs and TLS certificate auto renewals. Now before we move on to deployment, there are 3 things we need to set up to secure our server from evil hackers: creating a non-root user, SSH hardening, and firewall setup. First, we'll create a non-root user and enable sudo privileges because the root is too powerful. Then out of nowhere, I installed tmux because it saves terminal session in case SSH connection breaks, which is very rare, but it's a good practice, okay? Next, I disconnected from the server to test if I can now directly log in as Manware user. Perfect. Now we'll disable root login because many automated attacks try logging in as root by brute forcing passwords. So we'll also disable password authentication for the same reason. This means I had to head into this mystical directory. I immediately searched for the first boss, password authentication, uncommented it and disabled it. Next, I slayed this boss called permit root login similarly. Additionally, in Hostinger, there was a secret boss hidden inside of this directory, so I proceeded to uncomment it and disable it similarly. But before applying these changes, make sure you're able to SSH into the server using your non-root user, or else there will be no other way to log back in. Finally, I confirmed whether our SSH hardening defense is solid. For our final defense spell, we are going to be using UFW package that we installed before. First, I'm going to disable all inbound requests by default and enable all outbound. I'm only going to enable these 3 ports for inbound traffic: port 22 for SSH, otherwise I'll lock myself out, port 80 for Nginx HTTP, and 443 for Nginx HTTPS, which I'm going to discuss in a little bit. If you're not sure which ports you're going to be needing, you can perform this step after deployment. I then casted my spell by typing UFW enable and confirmed the rules by conjuring another one. And with that, I can mark my first goal for this project as completed. So now I can finally move on to the deployment. But wait, I completely forgot to even install Docker. Docker. So this command automatically detects your OS architecture and installs all essential plugins, including Docker Compose. I also needed to add my non-root user to Docker group, and finally enable Docker to start on boot. So if my server ever crashes and restarts, Docker automatically starts as well. I then verified if my installation was working successfully by casting these Docker spells. So now I can finally move on to the deployment. It's the best practice to keep your code inside /opt directory for system-wide access to your application, which is where I went next to clone my repo. The very first thing I did was create the .env file. Without these variables, my project won't even start. However, I suddenly got hit with the classic permission denied. I'm literally your creator, you idiot. If you ever encounter this error, all you need to do is run this command. But obviously type your username, not Manware. That's my name. Now let's finally discuss how I'm able to deploy this microservice architecture using Docker Compose. But if you don't even know what Docker is, you need to watch this video first. So I'm running 4 containers using Docker Compose. Backend on port 8000, frontend on port 80, landing page on port 3002, and Nginx on 80 and 443. As you probably remember, only Nginx ports are exposed to the internet. Nginx will work as a reverse proxy for our server. If request comes on manware.cloud, it serves it to landing page. If request come to app.manware.cloud, it serves it to the front end. And if request comes on api.manware.cloud, it serves it to the backend. And obviously, all containers can talk to each other locally using Docker Compose. So this checks another goal of my project called subdomain routing. And in fact, we can set up rate limiting in Nginx 2 on every domain route, meaning 3 out of 7 goals have already been slain. Now back in my docker compose.yaml file, each container has their build file in their own projects directory. Next, I have configured their image name, restart behavior, network, environment, ports, health check, and resource limits. The Nginx container additionally has depends on and volumes field. Each service's Docker file is also pretty straightforward, and I used Cloud 4.6 Sonnet to create all the Docker files. However, as I was about to proceed with deployment, I realized that my Nginx container is configured to serve HTTPS and won't run otherwise. This means I had to obtain SSL certificates, but even before that, I need a domain name. Luckily, Hostinger provides a free domain name for a year with a VPS purchase. I bought manware.cloud and populated DNS records tailored to my application. Your IP address will be where you SSH. Then I laid back and watched the DNS records populate around the world as I fried my brain getting rage baited on Twitter. I should really get off that app. Next, I installed certbot for switching my HTTP site to work in HTTPS. Under the hood, it fetches the certificate from Let's Encrypt, which is an open certificate authority by Mozilla. It creates and saves certificates in /etc/Let's Encrypt directory, which I'm mounting in my Nginx container. Nginx is the guy actually enforcing, verifying, handshaking, and handling HTTPS connections, not certbot. However, this certificate is going to expire in 90 days, so I set up a cron job to run this command every day at 3 AM. It is going to renew my certificate and then reload Nginx container, not restart, so it reads the new certificate without any downtime. That is another 2 goals marked as completed. Once that was done, I can finally deploy my epic microservice on the web, and literally all I need to deploy it is run this bash script. Oh wait, chmod deploy.sh, and boom, this script automatically pulls latest changes from GitHub, builds a Docker Compose image, runs it, waits for all services to get healthy, and prints this epic screen once deployment is finished. This entire setup of Nginx, Docker Compose, and shell scripting is a standard procedure for deploying microservices across all of the software engineering industry. By just a single VPS and gigachat aura of Docker Compose plus Nginx, we are able to substitute entire AWS stacks that would normally cost hundreds of dollars each month. However, I didn't just get deployment successful on my first run. In fact, this was the hardest part of my entire VPS journey because this 1-year-old project was riddled with bugs. I made 37 commits that single day. All the errors were from landing page, the only wipe-coded service I had. Other bugs were caused by missing environment variables, hard-coded links, and errors in Docker file that were again written by Claude. If you would have told me this mess of an application is practically deployable a year ago, I would have laughed at your face. It's still hard for me to believe that I got this spaghetti code to run in a production grade VPS setup. We have also completed the CD part of the CI/CD pipeline with the shell script we wrote previously. If you want to implement the CI part as well, just add this YAML file to your GitHub Actions and your SSH key to GitHub Secrets. Now whenever I push my code or merge a new PR, GitHub will SSH in my VPS and rerun my script. Perfectly smooth. With only load balancer remaining on the list, this, all I needed to do was add these lines in my shell script to scale my containers. Like literally that's it. Just make sure you're using the correct hostname in your Nginx configuration, because when Nginx call your containers on this address, Docker's internal DNS resolution and load balancing will automatically assign requests using round robin. And with that and tears in my eyes, my 3 months of blood, sweat and tears is finally out there on the internet. And you can get it 10% off on hosting or VPS by using code Manware or clicking my affiliate link in the description. And thanks for watching Manware.